Community members, students, officials in the Ministry of Social Development, the Desk of the Elderly and other stakeholders carried placards advocating for an end to abuse of the elderly as they march in the streets of Grenville today, joining the world in recognizing World Elderly Abuse Awareness Day, June 15th. They also used the occasion to advocate for more love and care for elderly citizens. Lydia Thomas, social worker at the Desk of the Elderly, says the international theme this year is closing the circle.
And we're looking at the theme this year. The theme this year is closing the circle, and that's addressing gender-based violence in older age policy, law, evidence-based responses. We're going through Grenville, around Grenville, and we're ending at the car park, where we will have speeches on elder abuse and prevention of elder abuse. We'll have the Minister for Social Services, Social Development speaking, and we'll also have our PS and other stakeholders and NGOs speaking against elder abuse.
According to the chairperson of the Geriatric Networking Group, Gloria Philip Thomas, statistics show that by the year 2025, the world will be more heavily populated with elderly people than young. She said what is needed at this time is to educate the future generation on how to properly care for older people.
Sometimes we don't understand abuse, but abuse can be direct or indirectly. Sometimes people deliberately abuse others. Sometimes we don't know that we're abusing because we don't know how to look after others. What we need in Grenada, and I say this without any reservation or any apologies, we need to have good, compassionate caregivers. And I don't mean caregivers alone that work in homes, but I think we also have to educate those of us who are children and grandchildren looking and taking care of elders, how to do it and how to do it professionally, how to do it with love and compassion, respect and dignity. I think one of the things today should be able to do in Grenada as a yearly event is to make the whole nation be aware that aging is something, as Ms. Thomas says, that's going to happen to all of us if we're fortunate, and we would all want to be treated with dignity, respect, love.
Minister with responsibility for social development, Gloria Thomas, who was part of the event, reiterated that her ministry is dedicated to the care and safety of the elderly. The older folks are the ones who laid the foundation for those who are here, and as such, they need to be cared for, said Thomas. She explained that her ministry's next course of action is to change legislation that will aid in the better care of the elderly.
We have training ongoing. Training is part of the operations of the ministry, and right now we are into legislation. We're doing legislation to protect the elderly. We're going a bit further to regularize the offerings that are given in elderly homes and at institutions. I think they play a very, very important part in society, and we should treasure them. They would have given a lot of years to this country, sometimes in their own way, raising their children if they didn't hold a job, or even they hold a job, making a valuable contribution to the development of this country. And I think this is very, very important for us to recognize and to appreciate.
For GBN News, I am Rena Thomas reporting.